Mike and Tom are registered with Stewart Partners Global Advisory LLC.
Common Sense Finance with Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell of HL Wiginton Capital Management, an independent investment and financial planning firm in downtown Jasper. Mike is a chartered financial analyst charter holder, and Tom is a certified financial planner professional. They are here to discuss and give their thoughts on current financial and economic matters. Now, with Common Sense Finance, here are Mike and Tom.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Common Sense Finance. This is Mike Wiginton. I'm Tom Farrell. You know, Mike, the question comes up a lot when talking to clients or maybe just people in general is, you know, how much money should I put back for my future self versus having fun and doing what I want to do now? What's your response to that?
Well, I probably hear that phrased a little bit differently, and I guess maybe even like various ways. Hey, I want to live today too. That generally comes up if you're advising someone that, well, and it's part of the financial planning process and looking at where you are today and where you need to be if you want to quit working whenever you say you want to quit working,
right.
Which is, that's up to you. But and you said, well, you're going to have to invest, because I try to get away from the savings rate verbiage and you need to have an investment rate. You need to invest a higher percentage of your income. They say, well, I want to live today too. And then you hear folks where you've got one spouse is either just retired or has been retired for a little bit and is urging the other spouse to retire. And it's like, well, what do we save all this money for? If we can't use it,
right?
Okay, and so they start grappling with, what's it's all about. I've even seen it go in a kind of a more nasty even way where they say, oh, that's just greed. Okay, it's some greed about how much money you want to get in your brokerage account or your investment account or your 401k or whatever, right. And I hear that in some version, like way more, and you would think that the idea would be it would be more intuitive, I guess. But anyway, so it led me to this. And here's the thing. It's all about financial independence is what it's about. Mm-hmm. It's about being financially independent at some point in your life so that you can live the standard of living that you want to live. And I'll tell you, it seems like in this world that we're living in today, and I've heard it in this new society that we're in, there's nobility in poverty. That's wrong, okay? There's no nobility in poverty, okay? Being dependent upon another person or another thing for your livelihood, for your existence is not a good place to be. And so to carry it to extremes, especially with the greed category, or if you're trying to figure out how much is enough, it's about achieving a balance. It's about achieving a healthy balance, which is it's not an easy thing to do.
Right.
And it's especially difficult, I think, with the financials. I mean, you sit down with people and do the financial planning, run the financial planning course all the time, and forecasting future variables like budget, how much you're going to spend in the future, mm-hmm. What's inflation going to be, what's your future return going to be. Yep. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Easy.
It's easy to forecast, but to get right, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, and you have people, roll your eyes about life expectancy. Well, I tell you what, you tell me exactly the day and hour that you're going to pass on, and mm-hmm. I'll plug that in here.
Yeah,
and so achieving some sort of balance and going through that process to plan out, hey, what is a relatively prudent amount to have, and conservative rates in planning with conservative rates. That's what the whole savings, investing process is about. And I get it, with two spouses trying to figure out when they're going to retire, so that they can kind of live that part of their, lives the way they had envisioned. That's another decision altogether, and that's tricky too.
Sure. And every couple's going to have different opinions about that, what their vision is. So it's, it's hard to work through all that. But
But there's ways to do it. I mean, we
Yeah.
talked about balancing. You know, retirement doesn't have to be either 100% working or 100% retired. There's middle ground there as well, and so I think that, I'm sensitive to not being too critical about that, because I'm not building houses every day. I'm welding something. If this is what we're doing every day, so I get it that folks that aren't doing this every day may not seem as straightforward to them.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. You wrap it all up. The balance, the financial planning, the financial independence. That's kind of where you ought to be oriented in my opinion, and that would help you answer a lot of those
Regardless
concerns.
of when you want to retire
Yeah.
or what you want to do in retirement, that should be one of your financial goals for sure.
But that's all I have on that. So.
All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Just can't believe all the things people say. Controversy, am I black or white? Am I straight or gay? Controversy. Do I believe God? Do I believe me? Controversy. 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 I can't understand.